Scythe Jackal. Wow. Greetings, ladies and gents of the court, as I, Scythe Jackal. I know there's nobody in the stream right now, but I know we can definitely talk if you want. I'll answer any questions anybody has. I'm here. Gamerboy says I'm here. Sorry I'm late. Don't apologize, man. Don't apologize. I'm sorry for getting this all weird. Okay. I found out the reason why it wasn't working. I had a VPN on, and that probably corrupted the live stream, so that's probably what happened. Anyways, good to have you on the chat, my guy. Hi. Hello, Nintendo dude. How are you, my guy? I see. I'm glad you see me. I'm glad you see me. That means my friend in French. Welcome, my friend. I should say welcome to you. It's good to see you guys. I'm sorry that I haven't been consistent with content lately. And Gamer Boy. Yeah. Opinions on the recent Nintendo Direct. Definitely. So, I didn't watch it. I mean, I didn't watch, like, the full Direct because I was at school doing school stuff. And so what I just did was wait till the Direct was over, then went on YouTube during my lunch break to check it out. And I thought it was, I mean, from what I saw, it looked pretty good. WarioWare Move It looks like a great game. A remake of The Thousand Year Door. I'm really eager to play that game because I've only played like Super Paper Mario and a decent amount of the N64 game, which is a very fun game, by the way. But I'm wondering how they're going to handle the game because it's different in regional versions. You probably know what I'm talking about, but yeah. I hope what do you can have a very good day. Thank you. Hi. So, yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent Direct. WarioWare Move It looks good, like I said. Mario Wonder, pre-ordered that already. The Mario Kart 8 DLC surprised me because, I mean, like, we were all, I think a lot of people were just expecting us to get 2 new characters because that's the amount of slots left. Well, we got 4 new characters and 1 track revealed, and it makes me think we might get a few more characters, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about a booster course too, considering that Mario Kart Tour has officially ended, like, you know, has stopped getting content, so I don't know if we're getting a second booster course. Is there a mainline Sonic game that you absolutely should play? I was a fan of Sonic when I was a kid, but not as much as I've gotten older. Sorry. So I've basically played Sonic Colors, Sonic Unleashed, some of the older Sonic games, most of them when I was a kid, but I kind of wanted to give I would kind of like to give Sonic Generations a shot, but that game is only on last-gen consoles. So I don't think that I'd be able to ever really play it, because I don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation 3, and I don't need one. Alright, I don't think we will get a second booster, mainly due to the successor coming soon. Yeah, where is Mario Kart 9? Why have we not gotten Mario Kart 9? Okay. The worst thing is in this year I download with my sus. I know what you mean. The Tour. Yeah, I haven't really played it ever, but I've heard interesting things about it from other people. It seems okay. It seems like a mobile game, you know, microtransactions, monetization, all that crap. Second booster course. Rate Unleashed out of 10. Ooh, Sonic Unleashed, huh? That is a very, it's a, all right, I'll say some pros and cons real quick. Pros. The Sonic levels are really fun. The storyline's actually pretty decent. The boss fights are really fun. And I like the idea that you travel all over the world. Oh, and the soundtrack is an absolute banger. Hey, Dwayne Asher, what's up? Cons. The Eggman levels are really hard. Oh yeah, pros. I actually kind of like the Werehog section. It reminds me of like a kid-friendly version of God of War. But yeah, Sonic Unleashed, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. I played the Wii version though, and I'm aware that the Wii version is different compared to the other platform releases. Also, what do you think about today many companies make remakes? Because the last direct are many remakes there. Yeah. I think video game remakes have been a topic a lot of people have talked about recently because of how many we're getting. Like, let's list off the remakes that we're getting or that have been announced. We got Mario RPG remake. We got A Thousand Year Door. Well, more of a remaster, but still, we are getting a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3, favorite game of all time, by the way. We got the part 2 of Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out next year. We got Persona 3 Reload. We had a Dead Space remake earlier this year. And in the last few years, all of the new Resident Evil games, aside from 8 and 7, have been remakes. RE2 remake, RE3 remake, and RE4 remake. And it's likely that the next game that's going to get remade is either the first game, yeah, I know, another one, or maybe even Resident Evil 0. That would be interesting. What about the Metroid remake from last year? I would count that in the same boat as like Paper Mario, where it's like it's a remaster that's on the edge of a remake. I love Sonic Unleashed. Yeah, me too. What about the Metroid? Oh, sorry. What is your opinion on versus videos? Like those little shorts that pop up when it's like one character pit against another. Those kind of shorts. All right. What is your opinion on versus videos? They're okay. Or unless we're talking like Death Battle. Those videos are fun. Just dumb fun. Have you ever heard of Brawl Stars? I do. I have a friend who loves that game. He really likes it. And, I mean, I'm glad he likes it. But, yeah. If you want only one remake, okay, in my life, what do you like? All right, what do you like to make or what that make? All right. If I could pick one video game remake. Oh, man. This one's hard. What is my favorite game of all time is already getting a remake. If I were to go with one game remake I could get in my life, it would be a remake of Devil May Cry 3. Because that game has held up super well, and it's still one of the greatest games of all time. I will stand by that statement until I die, that Devil May Cry 3 is one of the best. It's like top 30, top 20 in my opinion. But honestly, like a remake would be so cool because, like look how Devil May Cry 5 did with the RE engine, the same engine they used for like Resident Evil 7. It looked awesome. Imagine DMC 3 gets a remake. It would be one of like the best looking, and it would play DMC 3 with like Devil May Cry 5's like combat system and engine. That would the cutscenes would be sick. And hey, they could add like a little more, maybe like some like do what Resident Evil 4 did and add like a sub story or two. I mean, I think that they should remake I think that a lot of the Devil May Cry games should get remakes. I think DMC 1 should get a remake, not because it's a bad game. It's a very good game, and I think it's held up well. But I think just like a remake, again, in the style of DMC 5 would be awesome. Devil May Cry 2 could use a remake because that game sucks. What's your favorite character? What's my friend's favorite character? He likes this guy named Surge. I think he's a pirate or like an electric dude. What is your opinion on anti-heroes? They're okay. I mean, they're cool. Some of them are cool. Some of them have decent motives. Some of them are just straight up like they blur the line between anti-hero and villain. Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. I just want to be entertained. I thought DMC already got a reboot. That's a reboot. There. All right. So there's a difference between a remake and a reboot. A remake is taking something that's already been established and then improving it, basically. For example, the DMC reboot has nothing to do with the prior games, and it was a very controversial game at that because it decided to just go look up info on DMC Devil May Cry and you'll see what I mean. A lot of people have mixed opinions on it. I haven't played it. I want to, but I'm sure it's a decent game. I thought DMC already got, oh, sorry. Also, do you want a first party company buys a third party company? What company do you want to buy? I don't like, I've become indifferent to company acquisitions as of recently because of Microsoft constantly buying up studios, and like they recently bought Bethesda and Activision. Jeez, that's like one was like 7 billion, the other was 70 billion. And there's rumors from leaked emails that they want to buy Nintendo. And I don't know if I want that because it's going to start feeling like a Disney-esque situation where it's a complete monopoly. But if I were to pick a company, I would pick Nintendo to buy either Way Forward or Yacht Club Games. Yacht Club Games because I think they have a good relationship with Nintendo. You know, Shovel Knight was on the Wii U. 3DS? Was it on the 3DS? I think it was. It was on the Switch. Shovel Knight is a very Nintendo-esque character. He even got his own amiibo, and so did the other playable characters in that game. And I just think it would be awesome to see like an indie title become a Nintendo IP. Same with Way Forward, because they made the Advance Wars remake. Oh yeah, that's another remake to add to the list. And they have close relationships with Nintendo, like I said. Shantae has always felt like a very Nintendo-esque series. Sure, you could argue it's not as, not as kid-friendly because of its T rating, but it's still like a game that's, deserving of, being a Nintendo IP. It was made by it was published by Capcom at first, so like, why not? If you could remove one game from the series, from one game series from history, what would it be? In a more sarcastic choice, I'm going with Dark Souls because those games are so hard. I tried getting into the first Dark Souls. I know, like, everybody says, Dark Souls is so good. Oh my god, look at these bosses. Look at, like, I get it. But, like, I don't have time to get good. I got work. I got exercise. I got school. I got things. I don't have time to get good at this game. I get why people like it, but it's just not my cup of tea. I couldn't even get past, like, the third boss of Dark Souls 1, and I couldn't get past the mini-boss in Bloodborne. I really like the aesthetic of Dark Souls and the premise. The combat's pretty solid, but I just can't get into those games. But I wouldn't wish them out of history. I would probably wish... Maybe Fortnite. Because I enjoyed the time I played with Fortnite. I can't really pick one, honestly. What about Way Forward? Yes. What is your opinion on The Last of Us? Most overrated game of all time. Okay, no, not really. I haven't played the game. I watched my older brother play it a long time ago, and it seemed like an okay game, but I haven't seen the HBO series. I've heard decent things about it, but I know that The Last of Us is very controversial, mainly because of its sequel. But I'm sure it's an okay game. I'm sure it's decent. Also, what do you think? I feel like The Last of Us is kind of overrated in its impact. I'm not going to say that the game is overrated because I haven't played it, but everybody talks about The Last of Us like it was this humongous game changer. There's some math for you. In like video games, it's like, oh my goodness, this is like an HBO series. We need to get this to the mainstream audience. It's so amazing. The only reason I think Relax Alax, he's like a Nintendo YouTuber. He said it best, I think. They only act like The Last of Us was the first of its kind is because they don't include anime games. Look at like there were games before The Last of Us that could be, TV show-esque. There was Xenoblade, Persona 4, Persona 3, and there were a bunch of other RPGs or even like just story, even games that are, like more focused on gameplay. Games like Gears of War still had like a deeper story, it's a deep story to it. But yeah, that's my opinion on The Last of Us, but I've never played it, so I won't form an opinion on that. What do you think was the worst decision from the big N? Worst decision from Nintendo? Probably taking down those Etika Joy-Cons. That was kind of cruel, even if they own the trademark to Joy-Con. Even though, like, the cause they were donating to, I believe it was mental illness? Mental illness associate. It was like, it's to help people with mental illness. And I understand, like, yeah, they own the Joy-Con trademark, whatever. But I feel like that was kind of cruel because it shows that Nintendo, regardless of what something is supporting, whether it's good or bad, they'll take it down anyway. But I will be quite honest, this is a controversial opinion. I don't blame Nintendo for a lot of the things they've done to the Smash community. Now, granted, I don't respect that they take down fan games a lot especially when like people work really hard on fan games. But the Smash community is it's an interesting community. I don't want to generalize or make biased claims, so I'm just going to leave it that it's an interesting community, and not every person in it is a very good person. Let's just put it that way. Did Mario ever get his grilled cheese? He did! Back in January of 2022. Was it January? I don't remember. You should continue your Prince Giga Chad series. Oh my goodness. I haven't continued that in a while. I might, but like I've been heavy at work on Smash Universe and like school and all that. But so, yeah. I would make Yandere Simulator disappear if I could. I didn't know what that game was until I saw it on like this guy's comment. Somebody asked, I think it was someone who asked this YouTuber about Yandere Simulator, and he said it was evil or whatever. I was like, what could be so evil about it? And then I looked up what the term Yandere means, and I was like, well, it can't be that. And then I saw like a small snip of the gameplay, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, not a fan. Plus, I'm pretty sure the creator is like, I'm pretty sure he gets in trouble a lot for, things we can't talk about on this 14 plus channel. But he's gotten in trouble for it, and he's in trouble right now. But most of my knowledge of the creator of Yandere Simulator essentially comes from Mr. Incredible Becomes Uncanny videos. Maybe I should make more of those. Would you guys like to see more of those? I can totally make more of those. Like, I could make disturbing Nintendo moments, disturbing Nintendo characters. Maybe becomes canny. You have this character's powers. Something like that. I don't want to be like another Mr. Dweller, though, and ruin the meme. If you guys know what I mean. You guys want to hear this awful dad joke? When you make videos, what edit app do you use for that? I use iMovie. Yes, typical Gen Z over here. iMovie for his videos. I know it's not the most efficient, but it works for me because I've been making videos on YouTube for a year now. That's crazy. It's been a year now since I started. Oh God, not a dad joke. I'm sorry, guys. This joke might make y'all unsubscribe. What did the cat say when his friends didn't want to believe him or hear what he had to say? Hear me out. Dad jokes! Sorry, that was cringe. But yeah, oh God, not a dad joke. All right. So, what do y'all? Oh no. Yes, I'm very sorry. You become furry. How dare thee compare me to Foray with animal tail. I'm being nonsensical. I'm sorry. I unsubscribed. Get out of here. Get out of here right now. I love your content. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. But yeah. Well, you know what they say. Well, you know what they say. You can't have a pine without a pineapple. Speaking of which, you guys ever notice that when you have a pineapple and then you take the apple out of pineapple, where does the pine go? No, seriously, what does it do? Does it become a pine cone? Or is it just pine? Does it get launched into outer space and then in a parallel version of the Atlantic Ocean, or I don't know. I'm very weird. I'm very silly, as you all probably know. Goes under the sea. Under the sea. Under the sea. Down where it's wetter, but it's not better because of pollution. Sorry, that didn't rhyme. But anyways, I just want to say, like, I just want to come into this and say that regardless of all of our beliefs, of where we come from, or the languages we use, I just want to say that anybody and everybody is welcome in this chat, regardless. All right? Keep dining. But question, do you plan to tell you something of unused content from your universe? Yes! Absolutely. I plan to do that that is going to be a video. Mark my words. Please don't, actually, because what if they don't come true? But yes, that will absolutely come. The reason it hasn't happened is because the Cataclysmic Multiverse isn't done. I want to finish that story by at least like the end of November, if I can. I won't rush it, but like, you know, the beginning of the school year is typically the hardest, or you know, like the end of the school year is pretty hard. But I do plan to talk about unused content in both the Cataclysmic Multiverse and the Smash universe. To me, Heavy Rain is better than The Last of Us, even though it was like an unofficial Saw game. I've never watched Saw before. And I've heard interesting things about Heavy Rain, mostly from the Cole thing. You know, that meme, typical. But yes, Smash Universe definitely will get. Sorry, itching my chin. Smash Universe definitely will get an unused content story. Maybe in the vein of like 64 bits, because he makes a lot of unused content videos. But that will not come until the end of the Cataclysmic Multiverse, which I'm hoping I'll be able to finish by the end of November. I at least want it done by the end of the year. Saw. So yeah, I've never watched Saw before. I know that the movies are very violent, though. I do admit the memes that come out of it are pretty damn funny. Hi, Billy. You need to get this wrench out of the flower pot. Did I mention the flower pot is covered in needles? And the needles make you die. Like that. Sorry. But yeah, I've never watched Saw before. I'm sure they're okay movies. Maybe Batman. I'm Batman. Batman is real. Now he is. I'm Batman. I used to love Batman when I was younger. Actually, I still liked Batman in my earlier teenage years. Do the highest pitch voice you can do. How about no? Okay, sorry, that was snarky, but not right now in the area I'm in. If that's okay. I could probably go higher, but that's the highest you're gonna hear right now. A Mickey voice. Let me tell you what, when I was younger, before I hit puberty, I was really good at Mickey Mouse voices. Uh-huh. Hey, kids. Welcome to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Uh-huh. That's actually not terrible, but I used to do a better one. I can do a decent Goofy impression. Gosh, Mickey, somebody's poisoned the water hole. Oh, wait, that's Woody. Gosh, Mickey, somebody dropped an atomic bomb on the Walt Disney Castle. The invasion of Disneyland. God, that would be interesting. Unfortunate though, because people lose their lives. Also, Goofy with Woody's catchphrase. No, this is Woody's catchphrase. Chewy boy! Chewy boy! I don't know, I just heard that on a meme somewhere, and apparently it's associated with Woody. If you want to go to one country in the world, what country would you want to go to? I'm really bad at countries and states because geography, but I really one day want to visit. I want to travel the whole world. But I think if I were to pick one place, it would be Japan is cool. Like I do want to go there one day, but I don't know if it's the first country I would pick. Maybe like sorry, you got me. You got me, man. I'm not sure. Maybe Italy or France. I think France would be or just Europe in general. I would love to go to Europe, just like all of Europe or South America, dude. South. I might go with Spain actually. I've always wanted to see Spain. I've always wanted to see what it looks like. I've always wanted to learn about their culture. I've also wanted to visit the Middle East. There's so many places I want to visit in the world. But that is very with Temblors. Yeah. There's a boot in my snake knew it. The guy who made Yandere Simulator might I'm not going to say that word because I might get in trouble with the YouTube police, but yeah, I've heard something about that with the guy. I saw it in like Some Ordinary Gamers video, that guy, Mudahar, the Minecraft laugh meme guy. Do you think what the actual internet can disappearance? The thing about the internet disappearing is that the thing about life is that a lot of things in it we don't know everything about, regardless of our beliefs or our cultures. We don't know everything about life. We may, like we have religious books that, predict things that happen in our religions, but we don't know, like things can change. Like things can absolutely change. You can think you're going to be an engineer when you grow up. You end up becoming a doctor. You expect to go to a sandwich shop and the sandwich to cost like $3, but it's $5 because of inflation. Like we don't know what to expect a good amount of the time in life because, we're we're humans. We're all on this planet. We were brought to this planet by whatever you believe in. But wise words. Thank you. What comes once a year, twice in a month, 4 times in a week, and 6 times in a day? Marriage? Actually, no, that can't be. Once a year. Twice in a month. A day off from work? A day off, a free ice cream day, or Easter? No, Easter. Yeah, Easter is once a year. Lent? Is it Lent? Also, I want to say, just to address my audience, that life is good. But wiser. Do you think driving a car is a bit creepy because remember that can make accident crashes? The thing about driving a car is that it doesn't depend on the vehicle. It depends on the person who's driving it. It's like, say you give a child, and you have an adult and a child, okay? You give them both a sword, okay? Who do you think is going to be more responsible with that sword? It's the adults, because the child is young and naive and doesn't know a lot about, how it works. The way I view a car is that, like I said, it depends on the driver. Because let me tell you what, There is a lot of stupid drivers in the world who make stupid turn signals, don't drive right. I only have my permit, but like I still need to drive more. But there's so many bad drivers in the world. It's hold on a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to do something real quick. So, what questions I asked? Yandere Simulator had good story ideas. It was the kind of villain game I wanted for years. 80s had a battle of the mind story, but sadly, there's too much stock value. Interesting. And I was talking about 80s mode of Yandere Simulator. I've never heard of that, but I'm assuming since it's like Yandere is like an anime term, I'm assuming it's in the style of 80s anime, like City Hunter, I guess. I don't remember that many anime from the 80s. There's like what? Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball. That's all I can think of. Something so stupid that made you laugh. Um, Something stupid that made me laugh. Whenever you look up your birthday and you look up Florida Man after that, you get the wildest you get the wildest search results. And I was talking, oh yeah. Because I remember my ugly likes. We all have things that make us laugh regardless if other people think they're funny or not. Speaking of things that might... Okay. 80s. Speaking about the old days, I have a very controversial music opinion that I want to share with you guys. When you think of okay. So, have you guys ever had that music artist who a lot of people like, but you don't see the appeal and you think they're very overrated to the point where you don't like them? Don't like their music, I mean. There's a difference between disliking the music and disliking. Question, and it is a bit controversial, but what do you think of the copies games of Smash that end up failing being Smash Killer? The problem with quote-unquote Smash Killers is that that's what most people see these games as. They put these games to such high standards and expect them to be as good, if not better, than Smash Brothers. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is like the only one I can think of that is doing decently fine. The first one, it was okay. The second one, which is going to be like a revitalized version, is coming out though, and it's going to be, it's going to be very... It's going to like fix a lot of the things with the original game. It looks fun. I might play. I don't know if I'll play that. I loved Nickelodeon when I was a kid. But I think that it'll be a decent game. But I think the biggest plunder of Smash Killers is multiverses. When this game was announced, everybody was talking about how it was going to be the next Smash Brothers, the Smash Brothers killer. And it was fun. I played it. Listen, I played it. It was very fun. Very fun gameplay, and like it was fun, had fun gameplay. It had a lot of dedication to the characters and their movesets. It didn't work. It was a live service game, and the game like lost 99% of its player base in like 1 to 2 weeks. It was a live service game, like I said, because live service games often aren't done well. You want to know a reason why a lot of Nintendo like spin-off games, like Mario Tennis Aces, Mario Golf Super Rush, Mario Strikers Battle League, these games fail as live services because 1, they're full priced. 2, they don't launch with a lot of content. 3, the rest of the content that should be at the game's launch they're sprinkled out upon a timeline and they're released and put on the game. Mario Strikers Battle League, like that game launched with 10 characters, 1 stadium. You can't say the variations don't count. And the game did get new content, but the game had like a roster of 16 at the end. That's only like 4 more compared to Mario Strikers Charged, which had like a lot of characters. Well, it had 12 captains, but it had other characters as sidekicks, so I guess that counts as more. Speaking of Mario Strikers, I plan to do a video about my dream Mario Strikers game and what I would have in it. I'm going to be doing that at some point. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, multiverses, unless they make the game, what they should have done with multiverses was take longer to develop the game. Don't make it online only. Make it full price. Go ahead. But have way more characters, have more single-player content. They should have just done that. The reason why Fortnite, as much as I don't like the game anymore, the reason why it was so successful and still has a large player base is because 1, it's free. 2, it's easy to understand. Well, it's easy to learn but hard to master. And 3, most of the cosmetics, if not all of them, don't need to be bought to enjoy the game. You can, and sometimes, yeah, it's unfortunate, but... And, like, the FOMO that they use to get people to buy skins is pretty scummy, I do admit. But with multiverses, you can... multiverses, you can grind super hard to get enough points to unlock that character. Or, hey, you can just spend some money and, get that character right now. It doesn't work with a fighting game, in my opinion. The reason why it worked with Smash Brothers was because Smash Brothers Ultimate, for example, launched with, 70 characters on release, about 70, 60, 69, I think. And the game got DLC, but it was paid, and You could still there was still a lot of content in Smash Brothers without the DLC. Yeah. First Saw movie was not that bloody. I'm sure it's not super bloody. I just don't really I just don't really know if it'd be my type of movie, but maybe I'll check it out one day. Really a beta? Yeah, it was a beta, absolutely. And I enjoyed it. I hope that Kame can have a good return. I hope it does too. I'm hoping like since they said it's coming back next year, I'm hoping that they're going to have a good amount of new characters by the time it comes out. I really want them to put Team Ruby in that game. Because if you do, if fun fact of the day, Ruby is owned by Warner Brothers. They was made by Rooster Teeth, and Warner Brothers Discovery, as they're called now, owns Rooster Teeth. I would love to see Ruby fight Shaggy and Batman and Jotaro at the same time. I don't know about JoJo's. Ruby is more likely than JoJo's, I'd say. Yeah, games as a server. I don't like that either. All the roster from the Smash Cartoon Network from the Wii. That game was fun. That game was dope. That game was actually fun. Me and my brother played that game when we were younger. We had that on our Wii. I didn't recognize I didn't recognize some of the cartoons though. Like I was like, who the heck is Flapjack? That game was that show was actually pretty good. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of it because what is Flapjack often compared to? Flapjack, I feel like it's often compared to Ren and Stimpy in a way because it has those hyper realistic close ups. We're not going to get into Ren and Stimpy. We're not going to talk about Ren and Stimpy because I've only seen like a bit of one episode, and because if we talk about Ren and Stimpy, we have to talk about its creator, and I don't think I can do that. Don't fight against the Flapjack fans. Only are today through fans. I like Flapjack. I'm not. I don't hate Flapjack. I like the Misadventures of Flapjack. I'm disappointed that they took it off of Max. Here's the weird thing I don't get, like what they did with Max. They took off Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, right? But not the Powerpuff Girls reboot. That show is horrible. At least Foster's was like creative. It was nice. Had good animation. It was creative. It was funny. But the Powerpuff Girls reboot, as somebody who grew up watching it a little bit, it's garbage. It's more garbage than modern. No, it's not as bad as. Oh God! Don't even get me started on Family Guy. Modern Family Guy is absolutely horrendous, in my opinion. Constant, just violent, like unnecessary violence, trying too hard to be offensive jokes. Family Guy, I feel like Family Guy was best back from its beginning, which was 1999 to 2010. But like that was good. It was good up until then. But the golden age of Family Guy is easily the first 3 seasons because they were jokes that they were controversial and all that, but they were like Hello Kitty compared to modern Family Guy jokes. Modern Family Guy jokes are just distasteful. Very distasteful. And not even like a funny way, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I know there are people who like Modern Family Guy, and good for you, but I'm not one of those people. The thing that the series bothered me is they never arrived to Candy. That would have been a nice finale. I remember every episode was like they were trying to go to Candy Island. Isn't Candy Island like a stage in Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion? That is so funny. The area they could never get to is a stage. That's like if Super Smash Brothers. That's like if Smash Ultimate had a stage that was, I'd say Elysium from Xenoblade 2, but they pretty much found it. Actually, technically Elysium was, the thing all along. But I would say that Elysium was basically, like not, it wasn't really physical, it was more so a. So that means they can manage to arrive in that game. Yeah, basically. Punch Time Explosion confirmed. Canon. You first heard it here, folks. Oh yeah, what was I talking about earlier? This is why for me as canon, yeah. This is why I love doing live streams because I get to talk with you guys and like I go off and explain things and stuff like that. I go off and it goes to different topics and it just leads to more topics. That's like how talking to a person goes. So yeah, it's basically human interaction, but it just I'm glad that like I do live streams. I would do them more often. I'll do them more often like when I have more time and when I have like more subscribers. My goal is to reach 300 subs by the end of the year. If I don't make it, whatever. I'm going to be honest, I don't want to do this for money because I only have like what 270. I don't care about money. I don't care about fame or any of that. I just want to have like, some people who want to enjoy my content and maybe in a fan base. So like if you want, like you don't have to. You can just watch my content and enjoy it. I don't care about money. But question, go ahead. I'll answer your question, but I'm going to talk about who, in my opinion, the most overrated band of all time is. And this is very controversial, especially if you love 60s rock and roll. It's not the Beatles, it's the Rolling Stones. I don't know why. I just do not like their music. I don't like any of their songs aside from Paint It Black. And even if the original is a banger, I think that Leo, he's like a YouTuber part of Leapfrog Studios. He does metal and acoustic covers of famous songs, whether they're rock or not. He's done like Baby Shark metal. Um, he's done Hello by Adele on metal. He's done a lot of metal covers. I think his version of Paint It Black is absolutely better. It blows the Rolling Stones it blows them out of the ocean. That's how good the cover is. It is, in my opinion, so much better than the original. And I just don't like any of their songs. You plan at the future Amy coffee page? What's that? I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee. And I don't work at Starbucks, if that's what you're asking. I probably want to get a job. But yeah, it's... What your opinion on horror games Nintendo did? Oh yeah, what's your opinion on it, my guy? While he's typing up his opinion, I'll give you guys mine. If you guys don't mind, I don't want to change the subject to me. I don't want to be like that. Coffee page is a page where people donate you. Oh, like a Patreon? Yeah, I don't want to make a Patreon because then because then I'd put it in videos and be like, yo, I got a Patreon. You should probably send stuff to me. I don't want to take money out of your guys' wallet, especially since like I'm only doing this for fun. If I can make money from YouTube one day, cool, it makes me happy. But I don't want to have to like ask you guys for money because I view you guys as just genuine fans and friends generally. Well, mostly. Like I don't know a lot of you personally, but I view you guys as friends and I don't want to ask you guys for money. I just want you guys to enjoy my content and like chat. Was a little less money. Yeah. Any questions regarding Smash Universe and the Cataclysmic Multiverse? I won't give anything like super specific or spoilery because I want a good amount of some of this stuff to be surprises because I know like I don't know if everybody here reads the Cataclysmic Multiverse. If you don't, that's completely fine. But that's like the biggest project I've been working on right now, aside from an essay on a book. Day or night? I like them both because I'm more awake in the morning. I'm more awake, ready for the day, ready to get going and start my day. But then, like, as the day progresses, I get more tired, especially in the night. Like when I come home from like working out, like from going to school, and I go to my sport later. I go to swim later, come out of swimming, and I'm just tired, and I want to shower and like go to bed. Just like go straight to bed. Speaking of which, the stream is going to be ending soon because I have to go to bed. But we can still talk like 10 minutes, but we can still talk like right now and all that. But I might go with day because I'm more of a morning person. Yeah, I have a question. Do you plan to add more characters not from games in CM? Yes, there will be characters from some certain anime in the Cataclysmic Multiverse. They might be some familiar faces, but there's also a big surprise. As for Marvel characters, I said this in a post, and I know this is going to be disappointing, but there will be no other Marvel characters in the Cataclysmic Multiverse or in any Smash Universe story. After this story, Spider-Man and like all the other characters, they're gone. They're not going to come back like ever. And I would say the reason why, but I saw this documentary once that really changed like my view on Marvel and DC and all that. And I don't want to have those characters be associated for certain reasons with my Smash universe. There's a reason why, but I don't want to get too deep into it. Sorry. Just a little, you know. However, as you guys have seen from those little Marvel Smash character cosplays, you might be interested in something like that in the future. Also, do you plan to make story crossovers to other companies like Warner, Disney, or Universal? Disney is absolutely not. I do not like modern Disney at all. I just don't like Disney as a company. I think they're very cruel. Not cruel, but like, I just don't like their movies. Universal. Since Universal and Nintendo are working together, and because they made a theme park and because they made the Mario movie, I could make a story about the Smashers going to Universal Studios, but that's kind of been done before on fanfic.net. I'm pretty sure that's been done before. I don't know who it was by, but it was this guy who made a story where I didn't read the story, but I just heard about it. I read a small part of it somewhere. It's about Smash characters and SpongeBob characters going to Universal, and I didn't really read it, but I just heard about it because it's apparently a well-known story. But I don't know if that's likely. DreamWorks. I like DreamWorks. I really do. I like their movies, especially Shrek. But I don't know if crossing over into DreamWorks would be legit. I could make a DreamWorks movie tier list. The problem is I haven't seen all of them because I grew up and stopped watching them. I watched a few of them recently though, just for like nostalgia. Fun fact about me and DreamWorks, there was a DreamWorks movie that I was too scared to watch as a child. Do you want to guess what the movie was? It was the Bee Movie. And you're probably wondering why. When I was a kid, I was very, very scared of bees. Like buzz, like just bees scared the absolute crap out of me. Because I was like, oh, they're gonna sting me. And like the colors of them, the yellow and black, they made me feel weird. And the hives, like images of beehives just creep me out for some reason. But I was scared to watch that movie as a kid because it was about bees. But since I'm more mature than I was as a kid, way more mature, I'll probably go back. I'll probably go and watch it at some point because it's a certified hood classic, as many of you know. But that movie are Ken. Like the Barbie movie, I didn't see that. I have heard interesting things about it. Some people say it was good. Some people say it was propaganda or something like that. I don't know. I don't care. I don't really care. The reason why, so I know my channel is mainly centered around Ken Dady. Which one is he? Is he the lawyer from B Movie? Or is he the guy who was voiced by Joe from Family Guy? Oh, Ken from the B Movie. Yeah, is he like that chick's boyfriend or whatever, or is he the lawyer? Oh my god, a stupid ass B movie. It's just such a dumb movie, and like I really want to see it. I'm pretty sure it's on like Netflix or whatever, or Max or whatever it's on nowadays. There's too many streaming services, man. Am I right? What was I saying earlier? What was I talking about earlier? Ah, crap! I forgot what I was talking about. Does anybody remember what I was talking about before I went on the B movie, dominated to the Oscar, dominated to the Oscars. Oh yeah, I was talking about. So I know some people might find it confusing that my channel is primarily about Nintendo, but as we know, I upload gameplay footage of Castlevania, Devil May Cry, Mortal Kombat on PlayStation 5. The reason is because I don't have a laptop. I don't have a computer. I don't have a PC. I don't really want any of that. I don't have a capture card on my Nintendo Switch either, so I can't record that gameplay and I can't put it on my YouTube channel. The PlayStation 5, however, has a feature where you can record up to an hour of gameplay and then upload it to YouTube through a connection on account. And that's basically why you see a lot of gameplay from PlayStation 5. Like you've seen, I made a video about like the final boss of Castlevania Bloodlines. Do you gonna, well, I'm going to ask one last thing. Quick question. Do you gonna to make some controversial opinion? I am going to make a video where I asked on Reddit extreme Nintendo hot takes. I'm not going to say what my Reddit account is because I kind of just want to stick it to YouTube. Plus, Reddit is a very dangerous place. Yes, I said that. But I asked a bunch of people what their unpopular Nintendo opinions are. It'll be kind of like Arlo's video, but it'll be posted at some point. I'm gonna blur out like the usernames because I don't want to expose anybody because I have many to say. We gotta end the live stream soon, but go ahead and say, my guy. I'm all for hearing it. Well, if you plan to make that, I was going to make a post where I said all my unpopular things. I might as well have a section completely for you, my guy, if I were to do that. You can if you want. But wait. Okay. I'll wait. Don't worry about it. What do you tell me? You can tell me. Okay. I have a few unpopular opinions. All right. I'm going to go on a rapid fire. Me. Super Mario 3D World is better than Super Mario 64 and Sunshine combined. Yoshi is Nintendo's worst mainline series. Zelda doesn't really... Okay. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the best out of all 4 games. All 6 games, technically, because there's expansions. There's too many... Nintendo isn't focusing enough on classic hardware for Switch Online. And I think... Alright, so I do have this opinion. This is the most controversial Nintendo opinion I have ever. And before anybody questions why, this game is one of my favorite games of all time. I got into writing fanfic because of this game. Well, it was Smash Brothers and Fire Emblem, but it was another game. It was on the 3DS. It is a masterpiece, has great dialogue, amazing characters, fun combat, and great boss fights, and an amazing soundtrack. But I will say right here, right now, that I do not want a sequel to Kid Icarus Uprising. I know, I know, I know. I plan to do an in-depth video on Kid Icarus Uprising at some point, but that is my most controversial opinion. I will explain why in the future, but it's quite late and I need my rest. So I'm going to be ending the live stream here, if that's all right with all of you. I want to say, oh, ships in base on 2 characters with different species I like a lot. Unpopular opinion. Okay. But this is going to be the end of the live stream. Thank you all so much for joining me. You guys just made my day. This, like, I was kind of low, if you know what I mean. Metaphorically, not literally, but because I'm quite tall. But I was feeling a bit down, and doing this live stream and talking to all of you has made me feel a lot better. So thank you all for watching, and see you guys next stream or next video. Peace out.